Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and the 21st coffee stream. I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. We've got a bunch of news. Thanks to Gunfox and Nico and myself. I've done some digging. Go away, myself. I don't want to hear two of me. Pause, damn you, pause. All right. So before we get into all of the topics for today, let's say good morning. Good morning, chat. Good morning, Gunfox. Good morning, Churchy. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, Chadwick. Am I missing anyone else? So far, no. Hope everyone's doing well. We'll give people a few minutes to join us. I've sent the link to Pink Hollow because he says that he's got lots of driving to do, so he may hop in while he's driving. And barring his sleep schedule and or if he remembers, tomorrow's guest will be Ranting Monkey. Hello, Costin. So hopefully, if Ranting Monkey gets enough sleep today, he will be joining us tomorrow for the coffee stream. So that should be interesting. We should have a blind and a cripple. It'll be fun. Lots and lots of fun. So, I hope everyone's having a good day. My youngest is still homesick, but he's upstairs passed out. He's very, very tired. I'm doing amazing. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I adore cold weather. Even though my cats use me for warmth when I have the windows open. Aww. That's cool. Yeah, it is cool. I hope he can make it. That would be fun. So, while I get Twitter pulled up here, because I've got a few news stories that I've sent to myself. Some of them were from Nico and Gunfox, some of them I found. And then apparently my Discord has been news bombed again, so we can go check that out as well. So while I'm doing that, let me take the time to say please like and share this stream. It helps a lot. And if you are able, please donate to the Make the Office Stop Echoing Fund via Streamlabs. That's what I've decided to start calling it for now. The Make the Office Stop Echoing Fund. Because that's my first goal. It's only 35 Fahrenheit. Oh, Jesus, that's cold. That's like, because 32 Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius. So that's a few degrees above freezing. That's no fun at all. Holy crap. Robert Burke, LOL. I carpet bombed VP's Discord. Yeah, you can keep that cold weather, Churchy, says Gunfox. Yeah. I thought we were calling it the poor girl needs a chair fund or the blind girl needs a chair fund. Yeah, well, that's more clunky. 32 is freezing. Hi, by the way. In 35 Fahrenheit, I'd have the windows closed, but I doubt I'd have the heater on. It's not even that cold. I live in Colorado. Oh, yeah. See, you have Canada-like weather up there. Hanging empty egg cartons on the wall. I know cold for you is like minus 15 Fahrenheit. Yeah, like I figured it was Skep, but still in Minion's account. No, Silence of Uncle stream. Enlighten me, Chadwick. Before we get to the news, enlighten me. Hi, Skep. Yeah, tell us about it there, Chadwick. He streamed for an hour and didn't realize he was streaming. Drunkle streamed in absentia. Oh my god. That's hilarious. I wonder if he fell asleep on his keyboard or something. Or like, oh my god. Holy shit, that's hilarious. Oh my god. That was great. Seriously, the best ghost poo ever. Quality ghost poo, yeah. There was no sound. So he just hits like he hit stream but didn't turn on his mic or anything. That's hilarious. That's crazy and funny. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's fucking hilarious. I bet there's key imprints on his face. Yeah, probably. That would have been hilarious if all we heard from him through his mic was him burping, farting, and falling asleep. Another drunk related tragedy. I wish I would have been recording it when he realized he was streaming. That was the best part. Oh man. So I found a different I found a different outlet writing the story about the police officers, um, the Canadian police officers getting upset about pot use. He made $22. Oh my god, that's awesome. No kidding, Skep. Gives new meaning to the phrase I can do this in my sleep. Come on, load, you stupid thing. Why does technology hate me so? Come on. Okay. So the
90%,
the title
90%,
was
90%, 90% heading left, the critical 90, the critical third party 90%.
Let me
heading
try
level
and
one,
refresh
90%
this
loaded. Reload page.
page.
Cannabis Sean Kilpatrick /
There we go.
Updated. The Canadian
Okay.
the critical comments heading level 1. Police officers decry offensive restrictions on off-duty cannabis use. The critical comments come as the RCMP and the Toronto Police Service both ruled that would bar cannabis use by members within 28 days of a shift. You are currently.
So now that I've found a newspaper that won't paywall me, let's read about the idiocy that blocks police officers from smoking no less than a month before their next shift. People were dropping $2 making fun of him. Different subject. Are you seeing the rage from the left about Kavanaugh sitting on the Supreme Court? They're really pissed. Yeah, they are, because he didn't back down and he didn't withdraw. And generally, narcissists don't like that. The war with the screen reader begins. Yep. That effectively prevents them from smoking weed at all. Yep. It really does.
The Canadian Press.
So this is from the Canadian
Updated, October
Press.
10th, 2018.
This was updated yesterday.
Cannabis Sean Kilpatrick's Cannabis. End of Cannabis link. Check link. Link. Ottawa. Some police forces are implementing nonsensical and downright offensive policies that prohibit or severely limit off-duty cannabis use, says a national association that represents frontline officers. You are current. The critical comments come as the RCMP and the Toronto Police Service both ruled that would bar cannabis use by members within 28 days of a shift.
So the RCMP is Canada's federal police service. They operate both on a federal level, and they operate out west as provincial police as well, because they don't have provincial police out west for some reason. Ontario has the Ontario Provincial Police. Quebec has their own provincial police. And I'm tired of people saying, oh, 28 days is ridiculous, says Skip Talk. Yes, it is. Straight Sith Mill says, I'm tired of people saying that he's not fit because he got emotional during the hearing. Of course, or who wouldn't get emotional if you're accused of rape? Exactly. Pincella says, Gunfox, the effect wears off after about 3 hours. After 3 hours, you're fine. This is ridiculous overkill. And if the cops are like me and can function, I would rather take a high cop over a drunk cop. Well, I'd rather take a high anybody over a drunk anybody, really. From what I heard, the complaints are him getting emotional during the hearing doesn't wait. Oh, are more his getting emotional during a hearing doesn't speak well to his stability as a judge. Well, I think there is a difference between not being able to. Well, I think there's a difference between responding to like personally to rape or sexual assault threat or allegations and being an impartial judge. Because when you're on the Supreme Court, you're not trying cases, like, you're not doing personal cases, right? And if you know that you haven't, if you know, if you know you haven't sexually assaulted anyone and you've got
play
these four people coming and saying, "Oh, but you did sexually assault me, and you were drunk or a drunkard, and the media is like lambasting your wife in the media, and your children have to witness this." You know what? Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit pissed off. That doesn't mean that you can't be an impartial judge on a court. That
Pause.
means that you're a human being and you're responding to being called a sexual assaulter, a serial rapist, an alcoholic, a blackout drunk, like all these things. Skeptalk says high is better than drunk, trust me. I don't think it speaks at all to his ability to judge fairly. Well, hello there, Hog Silk. How are you?
The Calgary Police Services policy is even stricter, forbidding the vast majority of officers from consuming marijuana during their downtime once recreational use of the drug becomes legal October 17.
So the Calgary Police Service, that's a city in Alberta, Canada. So basically, even in their downtime, you can't smoke, even after it's legal. That's ridiculous. So police can go to the bar and get drunk on their downtime, but they can't smoke a joint? The fuck? That makes no sense
You are
to
currently
me.
on a Tom Stamatakis. Tom Stamatakis, president of the Canadian Police Association, wonders why certain forces are treating cannabis differently than other legal products, such as alcohol and prescription drugs, that can cause impairment.
Yes, that's a very good question, President of the Police Association of Canada.
Effectively, what they're saying is, we don't trust police officers to make the right decision when it comes to reporting for work fit for duty, Stamatakis said in an interview, and I just find that to be an offensive approach. You are currently
Not wrong. It is an offensive approach. If you can trust a cop not to show up to work blathering drunk, you should be able to trust a cop not to show up to work having just smoked a big fat blunt in his car. Like, seriously, come on. Just because the loud minority of stoners are those 30 percenters, the ones that walk around that want to, bring their bongs to the park. Not every stoner is that retarded, okay? The vast majority of us just want to smoke our weed in peace after we're done doing what we do for our jobs. And, after we put our kids to bed and just, this is ridiculous.
FSK there has been no meaningful consultation on the drafting and implementation of cannabis policies for officers, which vary drastically from force to force, Stamatakis said. You want to create policies that are relevant and effective and that apply to the vast majority of your members, not policies that are designed to cater to the exception rather than the rule. You are currently...
Yes. Yes. I couldn't have put that better myself. I really couldn't have. That was the best way to put that.
The Ottawa and Vancouver police services are among those with permissive policies that will allow off-duty cannabis use with no time restrictions, as long as officers show up ready and able to do their jobs.
So Ottawa, the capital, and Vancouver, the provincial capital of BC, which is, basically Pothead Central, is going to be permissive to police. I'm not a fan of the smell of weed, to be honest. Too sweet and sick for me, but to each their own. Yet, you know what? Some people just don't like the smell. And that's fine. Hashtag what? Huh.
In contrast, the National Police Association has been told the RCMP policy would forbid cannabis use by officers 28 days before work. You are current.
Okay, but most people work most people work every day, like, unless, so if they're doing shift rotations, is that what I'm guessing?
It's effectively an outright prohibition, Stomaticus said.
Yeah, it is. See, Skep had the right idea. Even this guy's like, it's effectively a prohibition. Pipe tobacco can smell good. Yep. I think more people get offended over the smell of tobacco, though, says Straight Cis Male. Yeah. This is the federal fucking liberal government in their nanny state. Yep. My brother smokes pipe tobacco in his cigarettes. I can always tell when he buys the cheap shit.
The Mounties said as recently as last week they were still working on a policy. The force had no additional comment Tuesday.
We're still working on the policy.
Left double quote. Effectively what they're saying is, we don't trust police officers to make the right decision. Block quote level 1. The Toronto Police Association, which represents officers in Canada's largest city, says while it is aware the Municipal Police Service has drafted a cannabis use policy, it has not yet seen a copy.
Okay.
We are aware the draft policy may contain a 28-day waiting period before a member can report for duty after consuming cannabis, Association President Mike McCormick said Tuesday in a statement. Once the TPA receives an official version of the policy dealing with this topic, we will perform a legal analysis of its content for compliance with our collective agreements, legislation, human rights, case law, etc., and make a decision about any further action we may take at that point in time.
So, red tape, red tape, red tape, red tape, nothing's going to get done. Every time I tried edibles, I was already high, so I've never been able to tell if it does anything. Yeah. Oh no, they won't be doing that. They won't be doing that, Skep Talk. A cop can go and get completely drunk the night before. That's fine.
Workplaces across the country, particularly those with a role in ensuring public safety, are grappling with rules on cannabis use as legalization looms. Impairment, including impairment as a result of alcohol, opioids, cannabis, or any other legal or illegal drug, is prohibited in all federal workplaces, the government says. The Treasury Board Secretariat has asked federal departments and agencies to update their codes of conduct and related policies to reflect cannabis legalization. Like the RCMP, other federal public safety agencies are scrambling to get their pot use policies in place. Both the Correctional Service of Canada and the Canada Border Services Agency said they were finalizing rules for employees. You are currently on a link. Marijuana legalization. Link. Police. Navigation.
So that's the end of that story. So everybody's just scrambling like morons, like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out how to do this. Drinking is okay, but smoking is not. That's just dumb. Agreed. Very much agreed. That is stupid. Drinking kills more people every year than most cancers, but weed is illegal. Yep. When I helped a friend out at 7-Eleven, she was scared alone. She would sometimes come in. A cop said, "Do you want to know how we know we drive under the influence of pot? People drive very slow and in a straight line." Seriously, squirrels kill more people every year than marijuana. Yeah. Yeah. It's Marijuana is a lot more good than bad, which it's a shame that people are so ridiculous about it. Oh dear, I closed my Twitter entirely. That's not what I wanted to do. At least I didn't close the Hangout. I can easily get Twitter back up. I could easily get the Hangout back up too, but it's more of a hassle. Register the squirrels. I want to see that as a pro marijuana advert. Yep. Do you see that squirrel? It's more dangerous than this joint. This is why decriminalization was a better idea. This is fucking stupid. Yep, Pincalo agreed. Okay. Twitter ho. OMG press, all this weed talk makes me want to watch the Reefer Madness musical. To be honest, legalize about 90% of drugs. Some can stay illegal in my opinion, but not many. Yeah. Hi, Della. Hey, Gulf City Freedom. Ah. All right. Now we're gonna get into the reason for the title of this stream, because it's kind of bothering me a little bit. Well, it will be something to watch, but I say cops or anyone where driving is a job, no drugs or drinking should be allowed, due to they need to have a clear head and not be under its effects. I can see where you're coming from. But then you shouldn't allow them to take antidepressants, which is not fair because some people need antidepressants and some people, honestly, some people find that weed works better than an antidepressant and they microdose and they don't, like, you don't necessarily have to smoke a giant joint to be under the effects of weed. And those, if you're smoking like a one hitter or something, you've got the calming effects, but you don't have the huge depressive stuporous effect. So yeah, that's just my. Did you hear they're going after Trump advisors for what they did in third grade now? No. Show me the money, says Skeptop. Thank you, Pincalo, for shilling the Streamlabs in the chat. Be right back, says Skeptalk. Hello, Ghost Dog. I just found it and dropped it on Discord. All right, we'll see about that in a minute. So, as West Chicago teen loses his sight, friends and family help him see the world. All right.
Heading level 1. As West Chicago team loses his sight, friends and strangers help him see the world. Complimentary. 90% frame. Josh Bainjard and his father, Keith, speak at their home on October 1st, 2018. Link. Image. Heading level 1. As West complimentary frame. Josh Bainjard. Compliment by Anna Spoer. Chicago Tribune.
So yeah, this is from the Chicago Tribune. It's from last weekend. But yeah.
October 4th,
Or
2018.
October 4th, yeah. So.
October 4th. Josh Bainjard was playing basketball this summer when he noticed the vision in his left eye was blurry. The 15-year-old shrugged it off, figuring he just needed glasses. But when he went to the doctor a few weeks later, he was told he had a progressive disease that no surgery or medication could treat. You are currently on a text element. He would likely lose his sight by the end of the year. Josh was crushed. He remembers lying on his bed, crying and praying, finally picking himself up and going for a bike ride to clear his mind. When he got home, his 7 siblings surrounded him for the rest of the evening, even joking about what meal he wanted to see last.
Okay, that's just weird. I have to politely disagree, yet agree there is a line for pot. Yeah. So this kid was told he's going to be blind by the end of the year. So he's upset. I get it. Like, that's upsetting. Kind of weird jokes to make. What food do you want to see? That's kind of weird. But anyway.
As he sat in church the next morning, Josh said he began to accept his fate. What came next was an incredible outpouring of support for the sophomore from West Chicago Community High School. Play.
Okay, so he's obviously a very religious person, because that's pretty quick, though. Like, over a day, you just, like, I don't know if the way that this reporter is writing it is making it seem like just in a day he was, like, went from crying to joking about what food he wanted to see and then praying it, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm fine.
One of his mother's friends suggested Josh make a bucket list of things he wanted to see and link. Set up a GoFundMe.
Okay. That's the part that bothers me. So a family friend learns that he's going blind, and her suggestion is come up with things that you wanted to do and see before you go blind and set up a fundraiser so that people can pay for you to do it. That's kind of that kind of sits weird with me. Like, if you find out that you're gonna go blind in it, like, and you've got probably about a year, I could understand maybe setting up a GoFundMe for like some of the new equipment that you're gonna need, because not all of it's covered. Um, but to take the advice of a family friend to get strangers to pay for you to go traveling before you go blind, as if you can't go traveling after you're blind. I can get it at the time your shock happens and you're upset. But if it's going to take a year for him to lose his sight, it's not really yet. No, it's not. Um, and it's kind of, it really sits weird with me that that's where that's where a family friend went, instead of like, hey, you guys are probably going to need some equipment, like some extra equipment that you're not necessarily going to need if you can't, like, if you can see. And, some of it is covered. You can get grants for some of it, but some of it's not. So maybe crowdfund for that stuff. Crowdfund for a trip away to one of the training centers when you lose your sight. Like something like that. Like don't I can understand having a bucket list of things you want to see before not losing or before not seeing anymore, but I don't agree with having strangers pay for it. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of that's like I'm not saying he shouldn't go and see things that he won't necessarily enjoy visually before he loses his sight. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the idea that automatically you should go to GoFundMe to accomplish that when there are so many things that you need that you could be going to GoFundMe. Like if you absolutely need the money, which the article says one of 8 kids because it says his 7 siblings crowded around him. So he's the one of 8 children. Um, so obviously it's not like they probably could use some money for some of the equipment that he's going to need. Um, but national reciprocity. um, but getting strangers to fund trips around the country and that's kind of it doesn't sit well with me.
To pay for the trips. Within 24 hours, his father got an alert on his phone. They had hit their $20,000 goal. As of Wednesday, less than 2 weeks into the fundraiser, more than 450 people have donated almost $36,000.
They had a $20,000 goal. Like, okay, if you're going to set up a bucket list and then you're going to go beg strangers for money, don't $20,000 goal. There are certain people whose brains go right to GoFundMe. When my cat was sick, that's where my friends went. Instead, my aunt paid for the bills and I'm slowly paying her back. Yes. But I mean, like, that's a, ooh, that's like, not only are you asking for handouts, but you are asking for, that's a lot of money. And then they've almost doubled it in 2 weeks. Like, it's, you know, I guess it's wonderful of these people to want to help this kid, but like, what are you teaching this kid? What are you teaching this kid? You're going blind, so pray to God and ask people for money? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
The community response is just amazing, but I know God has helped us through all of this. Josh said, He chose me for a reason, and our community. He knew that we could do this. It's awesome to see everyone reunite and do good. You are currently.
Do good? What good are they doing? It feels like they're taking advantage of the situation. Yes. This is not sitting well with me. Like this is and what good is the community doing? Like they're giving you money so you can go traveling. Like it's not like they donated $37,000 to the local NFB chapter. It's not like they donated $37,000 to the nearest NFB training center. It's not like they donated the $37,000 to the American Foundation for the Blind. What good are they doing? They're funding you. They're funding a family vacation for you. Like, yes, it sucks that you're going blind. It really, really sucks. My sister-in-law almost got my brother arrested for setting up a GoFundMe while he was on workman's compensation. Wow. Um, but this just feels gross to me. Like it really doesn't feel right. And the way that this article is written is like that this is a good thing. And look at this wonderful community. No, this community is being built. This community is funding a family vacation. And this family is teaching their son that when you go blind, that if something happens like you going blind, all you have to do is pray and then ask people for money. GoFundMe was a mistake, says Hog Silk. Yeah, unfortunately, it's really used for a lot of ridiculousness.
With help from the donations, the Bainjert family took Josh to a Cardinals game in St. Louis, where he met his favorite player, catcher Yadier Molina. They spoke for about 5 seconds. "I'm just so famous," Josh joked. On Sunday, his family got courtside seats to the link Bulls first preseason game. A highlight of the night was when Bulls rookie Chandler Hutchison shot a three-pointer before being shoved by an opponent onto Josh's lap.
Okay, so he got to go to Missouri to watch a Cardinals game. He was given Chicago Bulls tickets. So basically he's being taught, you're going blind, here's all these handouts. This is I don't ugh. This is wrong.
Other things on his list: mountains, the ocean, the desert, Niagara Falls, snorkeling, whitewater rafting.
Look, this is a fucking buddy, these are all things you can do when you're blind. There are blind mountain climbers, there are blind whitewater rafters, there are blind. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. This poor community has been built out of $37,000 to send this family to just send this family places. And this kid is not learning anything valuable at all. And it's a lot harder to lose your sight later on in life. And he needs to learn some valuable lessons, and he needs to learn them quickly, or else he's going to be sadly mistaken when he gets to the real world. This is
complimentary. A lucky tumble. Image. Chicago Bulls forward Chandler Hutchison falls into Josh Bainjert and his family at courtside as they watch the Chicago Bulls' first preseason game September 30th, 2018. Armando L. Sanchez / complimentary. Shooting hoops. Image. Josh Bainjert plays basketball with his sister JJ and their dad, Key, at their home in West Chicago on October 1st, 2018. Nuxio D. Nuzzo / in the last 2 weeks, Josh's friends and their families organized a wiffle ball tournament that raised almost $800. His friends collected an additional $600 passing around jars for Josh at school. "It's not about the money. It's about the hearts of the people doing it," said Josh's father, Keith Bainjert.
Then why are you not insisting that all of this extra money up on top of the $37,000 that you have made from GoFundMe? Because now it seems like you guys have made an extra $1,500 or $1,400. Why are you guys not insisting this money be donated to organizations for the blind? If it's not about the money. Honestly, if I could, I would have sent this kid to your channel so he could understand losing your sight isn't the end of the world. Oh, Nico, thanks, man. That means a lot.
He looked out over his large front yard as he spoke. If he gathered together everyone who supported his son, he said, the lawn would be packed with people. His wife, Margaret Banger, began listing a few who have gone the extra mile for Josh. His English teacher saw that Josh wanted to water ski, so she invited the family to her parents' lake house. His high school baseball coach is organizing a fall fundraiser game so Josh can play with his team one more time. One of his friends sold his PlayStation 4 gaming console and donated the money to his friend's bucket list fund.
Oh my god. You can water ski when you're blind. It's called beep baseball. It's being diabetic. One of my biggest fears has been that going blind, and listening to you has alleviated a lot of that. Well, that's awesome to hear that, Nico. I'm glad that I can provide something like that for you. No, it's not that. It's more like, why aren't they using this to buy the $10,000 Braille printer? Yeah, and Pinkel is not exaggerating on that. He's not dying. No, he's not. No, the kid's not going to die. He's going blind. This is really pissing me off now. His English teacher saw he wanted to water ski, so she invited him to her cottage. Why the fuck can't he water ski after he goes blind? Oh my god, these people need a slap across the face. What in the fuck? Like, seriously.
It's just really challenged me to think about how generous am I, Margaret Banger said.
Not very. Because if you people were generous, you would be telling all these people who are throwing their hard-earned money at you to donate to the organizations that will be helping your son in a year's time. If you really were generous, you would be taking all this money and buying your son the equipment that he's going to need, the training that he's going to need. These parents are failing this child. And this community is being taken for everything they have. This is what I mean when I talk about the lack of education about with disabilities. $37,000 would cover about 3/4 of all the equipment this kid's going to need throughout college. It would. Absolutely it would. This is fucking disgusting. This is absolutely shameful of this family. To use their friends like this, their friends and their neighbors, and to teach their son this lesson is absolutely abhorrent to me. I don't know what types of stuff that. Oh, Gunfox, you have no idea. I don't know what all types of stuff people with going blind would need, but I doubt it would cost over 20,000 US dollars. Gunfox, if you need basically a whole setup, if you need a computer, and you don't go with Mac, you're going to end up spending $1,500 on a piece of software to read your screen for you. So you've got to buy your computer, then you've got to buy your screen reader, so your screen reading software. Then you've got to buy, if you plan on going to college or university, you're going to want a good scanner with some good scanning software like Kurzweil 3000, which is going to cost you another, let's see, the scanner and the software is going to cost you probably about $1,000. Um, then, oh, I'll see you later, Costin. If it was me and I knew 100% I was going blind, I would be trying to find out about what everything I need and what would, yeah, Nico, exactly. Yeah, it's the Braille bookstore, honey, not the Braille store. It's yeah, mid-range Braille printer is 20 or is $10,000 US. If you want to have a good Braille display, a good mid-range Braille display, that's another $2,000 to $3,000. If you are going blind later on in life, you're going to want some independent living skills training, which means you're going to need to go away to one of the centers that the National Foundation of the Blind has set up in the States, and that's about 6 to 8 months. And therefore, your family has to, like, it's a lot. It's a lot of money. Those are insane prices for something you need. Yep, it is taking advantage. Luckily, in Canada, where I am, they have something called the Assistive Devices Program, and they will cover 75% of what you need, and then your provincial disability program will cover the other 25%. But they are very strict on what they cover, and you get a grant every 5 years. So what I may end up doing soon is using them to get myself like a refreshing braille display, maybe a tower, like a desktop computer, um, and possibly a braille printer. Um, they're not thinking ahead at all. Watch, in another year, this kid's family will make another GoFundMe for the things they actually need. Yep. Bullshit, says Hog Silk. It is bullshit.
Josh loves his friends, Margaret continued, and they reciprocated, which is amazing. They were crying tears when they found out. They have been hurting with him. I just didn't know that kids that age could get outside of themselves like that. You are currently on a text. Amid the whirlwind, Josh's parents are planning for the transitions and challenges their son will soon encounter.
Are you sure?
Disease, Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, is known to progress fairly rapidly, often starting in one eye and moving to the other, according to Dr. Timothy J. Keatsman at the Wheaton Eye Clinic, where the diagnosis was made. They don't really know when it could happen to me. It could be like 2 weeks from now. It could be a month that I wake up and I don't have vision in my right eye, said Josh, the sixth of 8 children, as he sat on the deck of his West Chicago home with his parents Monday afternoon. For now, Josh can still see the world clearly through his right eye. Sometimes he closes it to see what his world will soon look like. Colors are distorted through his left eye, making morning rituals like picking out clothes weird. You are.
Yes, it's very weird to pick out clothes when you can't see. And we looked up for the full setup for BP for university was about 35,000 US dollars, and the government said no. Yeah, it did. Because at the time we couldn't find an Apple Mac vendor, and didn't like. I was really done with Windows. Unfortunately, I may have to go back to Windows. Um, I'm thinking about putting a Windows on my Mac, but I don't know. I don't know. I want to be able to run OBS and shit like that without help. And now that needs a GoFundMe. Yeah. Do you see why this shit right here, this kind of shit, is why I have trouble and why I sound so awkward when I try and shell out my Streamlabs? Because I feel like I'm trying to beg you guys for money, even though I'm like providing content and shit like that. I still feel like I'm like being an annoying cup rattler, and then you read stories like this, and it's like, fuck. Have I looked at what? My voiceover is not reading this properly. Looked at X. No, I have not. Have I looked at S? Is that a typo? No, honey, you can't put Windows 10 on a Mac. They tend to explode. OBS will run on Mac, but the shitty part is that OBS doesn't work with the voiceover. So I can find all of the buttons that I need and everything, but they don't actually work when you're trying to use a screen reader. Um, the difference is blind. I doubt you would waste the money people donate to you. It's like OBS. Okay. No, I straight Sith mail. I wouldn't waste it. Like right now, it would go to furnishing my office. Like it goes to helping bringing some extra money for the family. It helped. Like it's not so I can go on vacation. Holy fuck. Okay, I shot pink jalapenos. Okay. Well, guys, I spent a lot of time talking about this. Shall we do one more news story since it's almost 11 o'clock? Running Windows in. Oh, just don't do it on a laptop. Yeah, I have a laptop, a MacBook laptop. I give you money because I enjoy your content. You can do whatever you want with it. Well, thank you, Colt, and I do appreciate it, Colton Girl. I really do. I am horrible with money, unfortunately. I have blackouts and money tends to get spent on stuff. Oh, that sucks. Holy shit, this story is not over and oh my god, this is disgusting.
His high school is researching equipment Josh will need. His counselor is starting to suggest occupational opportunities in colleges that will accommodate his new condition. You are currently... Josh had to drop the spring driver's education class he signed up for, and he wonders about meeting new people when he can't distinguish faces. He also worries about not being able to play sports the same way.
Yeah, you know what? You're not going to be able to play sports the same way. But you can still meet people when you can't see their faces.
His father, who has coached his kids' teams for the past 20 years, is researching basketball and baseball leagues for those who are blind.
Yes, because that's the important things that you should be researching. How about you should be researching counselors for him for when he loses his sight? Like, you can have the best outlook in life you want, but when that actually happens, you're gonna need some freaking mental professional help.
His mother found a Facebook group for people affected by the disease. As she watched a video about the world champion in blind golfing, the golfer's mother called her and offered words of encouragement. You are...
Oh, my phone is buzzing at me. Let's read this story and then I'll check what's going on here.
Even though we have a terrible diagnosis, we just feel so blessed in the way God's providing, said Margaret, who is the early childhood coordinator at Community Fellowship Church.
God is not providing. Your fucking friends and neighbors are. You. Breathe, blind, breathe. Don't scream. You are just below the sleeping sick baby. Do not scream.
Josh's friend just gave him a journal. He plans to write about his daily experiences and the messages in church while he can still read the pages in front of him.
And then what are you going to do with that journal when you go blind? Are you going to have somebody transcribe it? This is as infuriating as when they say thank God for a life-saving surgery. Yeah, it really is.
Margaret wants to print the scores of notes from the GoFundMe campaign and add them to the letters of support Josh has received in the mail. She hopes to read the messages to her son in times of loneliness, once his vision goes.
In times of loneliness, once his vision goes. Yes, because he's going to be isolated like a fucking pariah, right? This GoFundMe reminds me of something that happened this morning. Oh, hello. Zen, says Ghost Dog. Yes. Woosa.
Then she thinks aloud about how Josh likely won't be able to see the faces of his future children. She and her husband tear up, but their son breaks the silence. Complimentary. Josh Banger, image. Josh Banger, this is all temporary, he said. There's a bigger place in heaven for me where everything will be perfect.
Oh, you poor deluded boy. My ex-girlfriend decided it was a good idea to ask my wife to donate so she could go on trips back and forth. She had a fundraiser page and everything. Wow. I heard yelling from the other room. What happened? Everything okay? No. Hello. I'm seeing people.
Long shadows danced across the lawn as Keith, Josh and a few of his brothers and sisters shot hoops in the driveway. Half a dozen cars were parked out front and a striped cat ran through the front yard between girls playing catch. A typical night at the Banger home. This Friday, the tight-knit family of 17, including in-laws, grandchildren and fiancés, is flying to San Francisco so Josh can cross the mountains and see the ocean.
Wow. 17. 17 people, including in-laws, grandchildren, and fiancés. So there's plenty of working people in this home. So there's lots of working people in this home, and they've set up a GoFundMe and the entire family is going? Jesus Christ.
Whatever money is left after Josh goes through his list will be spent on medical expenses and research, Margaret said.
Whatever money is left? He's going completely blind, Hog Silk. But they're acting like he's dying. So let's get all of our friends and neighbors to give us a whole shit ton of money so we can take all 17 members of our family gallivanting around the country so he can see his so he can do his bucket list even though he's not dying. And whatever money just happens to be left, if there is any left, will be spent on medical expenses and research. Prioritize, you morons, says Nico. Whatever money. So none then? Yes, probably, Hog Silk, probably.
This is bigger than just our son Josh, bigger than his bucket list, Margaret said. I don't know what it's going to lead to, but Josh said from the start that if he loses his sight, it's for a good reason. We're seeing that. We're confirming that.
So if he loses his sight, it's for a good reason, and that good reason is that your friends and neighbors shelled out almost $40,000 for you to go on a big family trip? Just another GoFundMe scam. Thanks for the answer, VP. No, no problem. People see blindness as the end of someone's life. We don't see it like that, but look at how the sighted treat us sometimes. Yeah, well, this isn't helping. And they're not teaching this kid any good values or any good lessons. Ooh, boxing. This story is making me want to box.
Asper at Chicago Tribune link. And in case you missed it, link. A nonprofit that has Asper.
Okay, so that's the end of that freaking ridiculous story. I don't think I've been this angry in a long time. Maybe because going blind scares us to death. Maybe. But that's still not a good thing to teach your kid. Oh, you're going blind. Let's ask for a bunch of money. Thank you for the $5, Ghost Dog. And the message, blind, you are not them, and you do it with a classy style. Thanks so much, Ghost Dog. Ooh, blind boxing. Fun. I don't see blindness as the end, but blindness would ruin me, so I would rather die, but that's just me. You know what? I understand that. Cool channel. It's cool to see other blind creators have a sub. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Yeah, he is damn near grown. He's 15 years old. Don't take the guy to a museum. Don't take him to see paintings and portraits or stuff that matters. Yeah, I know, right? This is this story is this story really pissed me off. You can't let blindness rule you. It doesn't define who you are. No, it doesn't. It's part of who you are, but it doesn't define who you are at all. This is a very aggravating story. Going blind is terrifying. I'm afraid of the dark, but as G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle. I'd miss playing Dark Souls, but press has shown me I can still do things I love. Oh, thanks, Nico. I had to find a teacher that would teach me, as being blind makes normal teaching impossible. Yep, finding a martial arts teacher that'll work with you is hard. Exactly, man. My wife and I were saying he's going blind. Show him things that he'll actually remember. Don't take him on family vacations. Yeah. Ooh, you can get a special tour in Paris where you can touch the statues. That's cool. Do you think you have content for this week finally? Yes. Yes, I think I'm gonna end up doing a rant on this because this is really bothering me. Um, like a lot. Between me, I think between me and Gunfox, Press has enough content for the month. Yeah. Well, guys, that story took us right up till after 11, so I think we'll go till quarter after, um, and then we'll wrap it up. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow Ranting Monkey will be joining us, and I will hope to find some news stories to read that will get him and I ranting, because I think it would be funny. Your rants are good, to be honest. Oh, thanks, Hogstill. They have triggered me greatly. Yes, Gunfox. No kidding, I stopped in Discord last night and was like, damn, yeah. You know what's also frustrating? When blind people who are old enough to know better start GoFundMes like this. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is very frustrating. The ones that have been blind their whole lives. There's a Discord? Yes, Hogsilk. There is a Discord. Everyone has one, it seems. Yep. Yep, I have a Discord. It's nothing huge, not a big server, but those GoFundMe things are so the family can feel better. Nothing for the kid himself. Nope. Discord is getting much more accessible. Logic, Proton Gaming. Um, it's getting much better, especially on the computer. But it is much more user friendly on the phones as well now. Um, I prefer smaller servers to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, small Discord servers are great. Hold on a second here. let's get the link here. Mac. Logic. Mac is what I use. Mac and iPhone. There you go, Hug Silk. If you feel like joining, I financed my Mac. That's the only way I have my Mac. Is members only. TeamSpeak. Good old TeamSpeak. Good old Eve. Well, my friends, I'm going to. Best thing to do with Discord is keep it simple. Yep. But we'll wrap it up here, and I will gather a whole bunch of good news stories from Discord. Thank you so much to Gunfox for digging those up for me. Makes my job a lot easier. So all I need to do is jump in Discord and see what's there. Hopefully we'll be joined by Ranting Monkey tomorrow, and we can read the news together. It should be fun. I'll get you the rolls. I'll get you some rolls as soon as I'm done here, Hogstill. Bye, great show. Thanks, Alex. You and the monkey tomorrow. Yep. Hopefully Monkey will remember. I'll poke him a couple of times. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to the new people who came and enjoyed for a bit. And I hope you like what you saw. And we will see everyone tomorrow. Stay safe, guys.